Right, forget Anthony Joshua against Tyson Fury. The time has come for the heavyweight debate everyone wants to see. I've been putting on the pounds. It's going to be me against Albie on the topic of Meghan Markle, who says people have forgotten our humanity in certain parts of the media and digital sphere. Have we really? It's time to go one-to-one, and then the other three can decide who got the better of things. First of all, though, we're going to have a listen to Moaning Meg herself.
The bulk of the bullying and abuse that I was experiencing in social media and online was when I was pregnant with Archie and with Lily and with a newborn with each of them. And you just think about that and to really wrap your head around why people would be so hateful. It's not catty, it's cruel.
Right, Albie, I know I'm going to win this one hands down, so I'm going to let you kick her off.
Win this one hands down. Darren, what a load of nonsense. Look, I think the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, was absolutely right in this. People have completely lost their minds with the discourse online. You should listen to some of the things that I get called just for having a point of view, being the temerity to come on television, being told to leave the country, that I'm not really British, being called the F word because I'm gay. People online, it's become an absolute sewer. And I think the trolls that go after people like Meghan Markle, the trolls that go after people like you, Darren, online, the trolls that go after female MPs on both sides of the House have lost their humanity. They've completely forgotten that there are actually real people on the other side of the screen, and real people have real feelings. And I think it's absolutely right to say that those trolls online that cause so much nuisance have lost their humanity. They wouldn't do it in real life.
Well, look, what I would say to that is I think actually it's enabled cowardice in the sense of someone sat behind a keyboard in their mother's basement thinks that actually they feel emboldened to be able to send someone a string of abuse. But that's not changed, right? Throughout humanity, we have been awful to each other. It's part of life. Some people in life are awful. That's just the way things go. But I tell you who else is awful. Meghan Markle.
Oh, here
During
we go.
the last few days of the Queen's life, the last few years of the Queen's life, and of course the late Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, actually she made their lives hell. So she cannot lecture us about a lack of humanity.
What's that got to do?
That put
what's that got to do with her getting abused when she was pregnant and a new mum?
You've got to take
it's
into
irrelevant.
Account. No, it's not.
So you're saying because she did things wrong, in your opinion, she deserves the abuse she got when she was pregnant and a new mother. I'm
saying that she is not someone that I want to listen to on having a lack of humanity when she, in the twilight years of sick elderly people's lives, she decided that actually she was more important.
And that, in your opinion, means she deserves all the abuse and hatred.
Did I once say that?
Well, that's
what a ridiculous thing to say.
That's your inference.
That's you being a child.
You're not answering the question.
So yes, because you're asking a very stupid
well, answer it then. Just clear it up for us.
No,
is that what you think?
She does not deserve abuse, but does she warrant it? Does she bring it about because of the fact that she has been completely beastly in the past and a self-centred narcissist? Absolutely.
Warrant it, bring it about, deserve. Don't they all mean the same thing?
You have a right in any free and democratic society to actually criticise someone who has a public platform and what actually has taken the mickey out of your own nation. I think that's absolutely fine. Have we lost our humanity for taking the mick out of someone who has taken the mick out of our entire country, who still swans about with her royal title? She even updated her royal crest to enable people around the world to assume that she is still tied to the royal family.
The way that
she can market herself off of that. She is a vile hypocrite, and she is someone that I would not listen to about humanity losing its dignity.
Right, well, Darren,
she has no dignity.
To me, you've been talking for a while, so please do just, put a sock in it for a bit, OK? Darren, do you think the way that Meghan Markle has behaved warrants the abuse that she gets?
I have literally just answered that question.
So yes.
I have literally just answered that question.
Just say
we
yes.
have literally just been through this.
So yes. So she deserves the abuse
she gets. You're like Meghan Markle.
She deserves the abuse she gets. Darren,
you haven't been able to,
as someone who has got a lot of abuse themselves, I would think you would have more of a heart than to say someone deserves the level of abuse that a woman like Meghan Markle Markle gets. I don't think
don't
you
care what
deserve...
Meghan Markle has in
shut
her
up for a
pants.
second. I don't think you deserve the abuse you get, even though some of the things you say I think are absolutely reprehensible. I would never say you deserve the abuse that you get. And that's why I think it's disgusting that you would say that Meghan Markle's behaviour warrants the abuse she gets.
Do you know, when I get abuse online, I say, right, well, I have a public platform, I give my opinion, and I expect an opinion about me back. I actually think that that is part of any free and democratic society. I wouldn't want to lose that. Meghan Markle says an awful lot of things that I disagree with as vehemently as you disagree with me. And I have a right to criticise her for that. I have a right to think that she is a self-centred narcissist and to call her so. And I don't think there is anything wrong or a lack of my human dignity in actually saying so.
But I think there's a difference between politely making an argument like we are, and I'm sorry for telling you to shut up, that wasn't polite of me. But I think there is a difference between politely having a debate and being abusive. And I think it's perfectly reasonable to criticise and be critical of Meghan Markle. I've been very critical of her before, even though I like her. She's very annoying. I think the way that she behaved in some ways has been wrong, but then equally I think the way the royal family has behaved in some situations has been wrong. Does that mean I think the royal family or Meghan Markle warrant or deserve abuse? No. Does that mean I think you deserve abuse just because I disagree with you? No. That's my point.
All right, we'll take this out to the panel now then. Who wants to go first with an opinion on that?
I'll go first. I've been covering Meghan Markle for many, many years when I was at the Sun newspaper, etc., etc. I agree with you, Darren, that someone who has treated her father so reprehensibly, who professes to be humane and have compassion and whatever else, she doesn't display 1 ounce of that. However, I think the level of discourse and the toxicity on social media that is aimed at people like Meghan Markle, even yourself, even me, everyone gets it, is disgusting. People wouldn't do it face-to-face. They do it online because they're cowards, and it's mostly behind troll accounts. So I think Albie won that.
Cressida?
Well, I would like to politely say that I think Meghan Markle looked like she was having the time of her life. They're complaining. I mean, who'd she be if she didn't have all this to complain about?
Well,
she
indeed.
loves it. Little micro smiles. She was glowing. Good luck to her.
But does she deserve abuse?
Well, I think she takes abuse and she spins it into a career, doesn't she? So I think she'd be lost without it.
So on that debate then, Albie, you side more with Albie?
Well, no, I think I side with you. I've got very little sympathy with her.
Yeah. Well, I imagine a lot of viewers agree. Here we go then. Woke Butterworth.
Well, look, earlier Cressida said to me that you should be careful about the opinions that you say should be criminal, because then you might say something that comes back to cause an issue. And I think that's pertinent in this debate, because you should be careful about the abuse you tolerate, because that same person might come back round and decide that it's justified to abuse you. And so I think on that basis, Albie makes the more reasonable comment. I'd caveat it with that I think, actually, Meghan Markle is a terrible example for this argument, in the sense that she seems to thrive on the attention. She has so much money and privilege and distance from real life that I would wonder how much it affects someone like that. She's not on Twitter, she's not on Instagram, she left those apps.
I bet she is on those platforms under fake accounts.
The Sussex Royals are back on Instagram.
I won't be following.
Prince Harry's known to do that, to search his name on Twitter.
But hang on, so are you
false
saying
accounts.
Cressida is a hypocrite for what she said earlier and what she's saying now?
Yes, I think probably there is a hypocrisy between those things, but I side with Albie.
Right, we need to let Cressida come back to that.
I don't know. I don't think it's. I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm always right.
Like Meghan Markle.
Well, yeah, very much like Meghan Markle. But I don't do as much to earn my online abuse, and I have a lot less than her.
And actually, I think, anybody that has a little public profile, and mine is very small, but it's there, I think that, the abuse is unacceptable, but you have to laugh at it. The other week, we were discussing weight, which we seem to do a lot, and there's a big debate in the YouTube comments about whether I was fat, and someone went, I'd call him porky, but not fat. And then someone else said, have you noticed he always wears black to look slimmer? So you have to see the lighter side.
But do you think, on a broader point, there is a problem with Meghan Markle herself being the mouthpiece for kinder, gentler...
well, she's a big fat hypocrite.
Absolutely.
She's a flaming hypocrite. As I said...
So you do diverge from Albie in a certain respect, then?
Yeah, but that doesn't deserve the toxic abuse that she's had. She's a massive hypocrite. She doesn't know a thing about compassion or humanity. If she did, she'd call her dying father and say, look, I forgive you, Dad, let's patch things up. And
Well, never mind her dad. What about Her Majesty, our late Queen and the...
Well, I could sit here all night and prove what a lying, narcissist, hypocrite Meghan Markle is. However, I don't think it deserves toxic online abuse. I had an interesting debate with Amy Nicole Turner on this channel yesterday, and following that, Amy, received the most disgusting online abuse, and I don't think anyone deserves it. And if being part on the other side of that abuse is because I'm on someone's team or I'm, part of their tribal camp, I don't want to be part of your tribe. I never asked to be part of it anyway. And I don't want to be part of any toxic
This is polluting our politics as well, because there are people that most of the time are really quite ordinary. They're not from exceptional backgrounds, and they are being put off being in Parliament, making laws on behalf of the rest of us, the democratic process. A lot of them, especially women, don't want to be a part of it because of the abuse, whereas, 20 years ago, that wasn't a situation that they were facing.
Don't go into politics because they're worried they're going to end up like Meghan Markle.
No, but they worry. They don't need to worry. They see it every day, that they get a level of abuse for things that aren't justified, an exaggerated level of abuse,
it's the same old problem,
and it's not okay.
Who polices, who's deciding what's appropriate? You have to sort of let it be a free-for-all.
And Cressida, I think as well, this leads to arguments like those made in favour of the online safety bill.
Exactly.
Which is going to clamp down and preclude someone from being able to.
Yeah, and I would rather know what somebody. Come at me, guys.
So would I.
I'd rather know what. Yeah.
If you're a complete bottom, I want to know you're a complete bottom, so to speak. Actually, well.
By the way, condemning online abuse isn't the same as. Condemning online abuse isn't the same as supporting the online safety bill. I condemn all online abuse. I think it's cowardly, but I back everyone's right to say it.
Use it as an excuse to call for bans.
And I do think that you should be banned from anonymous profiles.
I agree.
I don't think that should routinely be allowed, because there's the same reason we all know that the way that people behave on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, is just not what they do in the pub. Because in the pub, they know where you live. I think if Twitter had that, you wouldn't get the abuse.
All right. Well, if you were in a pub, I imagine a few of our viewers would come up and give you a piece of their mind.
Can I just very quickly say, people are always really nice, GBNews viewers.
Well, that's
quite remarkable.